Do you have any experience?
No, sir, I have no experience, but I'm a big fan of money. I like it. I use it. I have a little. I keep it in a jar on top of my refrigerator. I'd like to put more in that jar. That's where you come in.
I think it's the most opportune time for me to share something that's pretty important. A lot of us are job seekers, and a lot of the times, firstly, when we are called to interviews, we don't know how to conduct ourselves in interviews.
Not so task-oriented, not a workhorse.
I also get headaches from computers, so I can't be around them for too long.
I take stuff.
If you're looking for a Clydesdale, I'm probably not your man.
We're slow learners, and we're not particularly good listeners. That'll be a huge problem.
We're also slow learners.
Secondly, we don't prepare enough for the interviews that we're going in for.
Do you have any special skills?
Oh, yes, I do. I do voices.
What are your skills, girls?
Oh, we can dance. You mean like dancing? We're really good dancers.
Yes!
We've come to this planet looking for intelligent life. Oops, we made a mistake.
We're happy to be in America. Don't ask for a green card.
I want you in the worst way.
Mr. Moto. Martha, can I call you Martha?
No, you may not.
Okay.
Human resources lady.
It's Pam.
And thirdly, sometimes the nerves get the best of us. But I want to share with you how to deal with those jittery nerves, how to deal with the anxiety, how to deal with the unknown. The first thing is to accept that you are dealing with the unknown.
I'm sorry. Well, Pan.
No, my name is Pam.
Are you saying Pan or Pam?
I'm saying Pam. Yeah, I'm sorry. Who's this gentleman sitting behind you?
Hello, Ms. Lady.
You're literally dealing with the unknown. You don't know what to expect when you enter the boardroom or the room in which you'll be interviewed. You're dealing with something that you need to anticipate, you need to be prepared for, but ultimately the reality is you don't know. So based on the fact that you don't know, you need to accept that you don't know. Don't create scenarios and thousands of scenarios in your mind and circumstances in your mind about this and that. Once you are here, outside waiting to be called in, you have to trust that you've prepared enough. Essentially, what most employers do is that they will let you know 5 to 7 days prior to the interview taking place. Some can tell you literally 3 days before your interview takes place. And you have to utilize and optimize that time and that opportunity that you have. First thing you need to do after you found out is go to people who are experts in that field who happen to be in your network. If they are not in your network, go to your network for people whom you trust will take you to people that are experts in the field of the job and position that you are being interviewed in. Inquire as to what are the key questions that you need to prepare. This is your first step before you do anything else. What are some of the key concepts and questions that you need to prepare? And how should you approach the answering of those questions? Because I've seen a lot of the times with the people that I have assisted when coming to interviews, you give them the questions, but when you relay the questions right back to them, they can't answer the questions in the manner in which the interviewers would expect them to. And that is a negative. You need to be able to approach questions in such a way that you listen to what is being asked, you answer specifically what is being asked, and you add detail if there's new information and research around what it is you are being asked. Don't go on a tangent and then come back and segue back into what you're actually being asked. No, you need to basically answer the question. If they're asking about you first, then you deal with a personality trait first, then your work experience, and then anything additional that is linked to the position that they are asking you about. Once they get into technical questions, you try and remember specifically what you prepared, the angle at which you were going for, and the points, at least 5 points per question that they bring your way. Don't take the preparation stage for granted. It's actually the most important. So after they've given you the questions and have assisted you with your answers, you now need to spend time expanding on those answers so that you understand those answers. Basically, you should be a student in a lecture room or lecture hall when you are being lectured to. There's a Bloom's taxonomy that is used to make students grasp concepts and actually go further with them. They start with the knowledge, so the remembering and learning aspect. Then they go to the comprehension and understanding aspect. Then it's the application. Are you applying what you've just learned, or how do you apply what it is you've just learned? Then it's the analysis. How do you analyze the information? How do you synthesize this information? And then it's the evaluation. You evaluate your understanding, your comprehension, your application, your synthesis and analysis of that entire process. And then you get to create. How do you use the tools and knowledge gained to create? So you use that Bloom's taxonomy of knowledge so that you are able to expand on your knowledge. Once you've prepared to that extent, and you spend time on it, don't take it for granted. You spend time on it so that you fully grasp every bit of information that was brought your way so that you can contextualize it well and formulate an answer well when giving feedback when being asked by the panel. Now you've prepared. Then it goes to the spiritual side of things. Whatever you believe in, you basically go in on it. You go in on it. You believe more and more. You ask. You thank. You show gratitude. Already, you should be grateful for the fact that they called you to the interview, meaning you are going to gain some experience. But you also need to be thankful for the opportunity to sit there. You also need to ask and make your plea. Make your plea. Justify if you need to. Justify why it is that God should give you this opportunity for you to take advantage of it.
Nobody in this town works without a retainer, guys. You think you can find somebody who does? We tell you have my blessing. But I think we all know that person's not going to represent you as well as I can.
Will, our offer is $84,000 a year plus benefits.
Retainer.
Justify that. Then double down if you have to. Fast if you have to. Pray if you have to. Double down on the spiritual element. Then it goes to now handling the pressure. Handling the pressure. Sleeping well the night before. Controlling your diet. Exercising if you have to. Getting rid of anxiety starts long before you're about to get interviewed. It starts with the confidence factor, and confidence comes from this balance of preparation, diet, the spiritual upliftment, and seeking that spiritual refuge, and of course, upholding your emotional intelligence so that you are able to convince and positively convince your mind to take heed and control of this opportunity that has been put your way. Then, of course, comes the day of the interview itself. You keep calm. You don't think much about what you've prepared because you want your mind to be settled. And your mind will be settled if you don't open up notes of what you prepared. Remember, you can't change the questions that have already formulated and put forth. You can't do anything about that. You've used your opportunity to prepare, so trust that you've prepared enough. And if that post is for you, it will be yours. If that opportunity is for you, it will be yours. This is your opportunity to merely demonstrate that you are the correct and better fit candidate for that particular post. That's what the interview is there for in the first place, is to determine whether you are a good fit for the company, for the department, for the entity, for the role, for the position. That's all the interview is there for. Are you a good fit?
Let's do this. You know, you guys are hired. You're in, you know, unless you're like the weirdest guys ever and I don't see it.
Great. I thank you for your time.
Actually, sir, I really need this job to impress a girl.
Right? Then now, with all that, you're now entering the boardroom. Remember to smile. Remember to smile. Show the panel that you are happy to be in that room. Smile. Greet. After they introduce themselves, and once they ask you the first question, remember the first thing you should do is thank them for this opportunity that they have given you and bestowed upon you to sit in front of them, because it means they've seen some potential in you. And then you start answering the questions, and the key thing is answer the questions you've been asked to the best of your ability. To the best of your ability. And with as much detail as possible. Without digressing, without going off on a tangent, with as much detail as possible. When you are afforded the opportunity to now ask questions, do not, and I repeat, do not start by asking about money. Ask about work schedules. Ask about the perfect fit of the candidacy in terms of the challenges that that department may be having and how they think putting a suitable person in the role will fix those challenges. Ask about the cultural diversity within the institution, organization, or company or business or whatever it is. Ask about the unions. Ask about the student bodies if it's a tertiary institution. Don't quickly run to the monetary aspect. If it's a part-time job, ask about the type of support that they offer to part-time staff. So you have that opportunity. You've been given that opportunity. You've optimized and made the most of that opportunity. It's no longer in your hands. It's now in the panel hands based on your performance, based on everything else. When you're done, thank them for the opportunity and give an indication that you are looking forward to hearing something positive from them. And then you may leave the interview room, go into your vehicle, whatever mode of transport you're using, go to the bathroom if you want to, and pray and thank God for that opportunity once more. And then call whoever was supporting you to give them that feedback of how it went. Remember to register the questions that they asked you in your mind so that you can use them for future reference. But also remember to register them in your mind, record them so that you can help others. Because you've been given the opportunity and have been assisted. Now you can help others with the information that you have at your disposal. I hope this video was useful, my starters. I love you. I appreciate you. Never mind the quality. I am just taking with my phone. I'll see you on the next one, and I hope there's value. Cheers, guys.
I have fast food experience. Yeah, like 20 years ago.
Will you leave now, please?
Please leave this office. We're done with this interview.
Do we get any sort of souvenir?
Get out of my office!
Hey, we tried, right?
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. My resume.